The Xeon Crane 3-axis gimbal is perfect for your on-the-go filmmaking needs. Affiliate link in the video description. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is the Mundane Matt channel and Snopes.com. You've heard of him. I've heard of him. You've probably been there more times than you care to count to look up whether or not that urban myth on the internet is real, and to double check that your grandmother isn't giving all of her retirement money to a Nigerian prince. I mean, let's face it, Snopes.com, for lack of a better term, is the best place on the internet to debunk that kind of dumb malarkey. Except lately, because that kind of dumb malarkey has seemed to kind of, go the way of the dodo in some respects. They've been needing to kind of focus on other situations to keep themselves with viewers and to keep themselves afloat with advertisements. And that's right now where they currently find themselves in a huge problem, because Snopes raised $500,000 in a day to avoid shutdown. That's a good number. That's a good number. That shows you how many people read Snopes. And that's kind of one of the things I want to talk about here is the situation with Snopes being knocked down right now and how other media outlets are trying to use that as a way to further discredit them. Snopes, let me go through the article and then I'll go on that other stuff right here. So it says here that Snopes.com, a fact-checking website, has raised more than $500,000 after starting a crowdfunding page on Monday to prevent closure. The fundraiser came after the website found itself in a legal battle with Proper Media, the vendor that has provided the site's advertising since 2015. Although the contract between Snopes and Proper Media ended earlier this year, Snopes alleges that the vendor is holding Snopes' website hostage. While the company still has editorial control, the vendor will not relinquish the site's hosting to our control so we can modify the site, develop it, and more crucially, placed advertising on it. Snopes wrote on its site, the vendor continues to insert their own ads and has been withholding advertising revenue from us. Now that is a bold claim. That is a bold claim. That website gets a lot of traffic. It gets a lot of fucking traffic. And to have Proper Media holding it hostage in order to place their ads on it in order to continue making money and not pay them off is definitely shitty and should be argued out in a court of law in order to relinquish this shit. Now, the reason why I'm on Snopes' side here, based at first glance, to put that out there, is because I am a person who operates and earns a living off of advertisements. That's how I earn my money. And as a result of that, if I were in a position where someone was kind of dangling that over my head, I'd be pissed. Kind of not too unlike what's gone on with the adpocalypse and everything else right now. I'd be pissed off. So I totally get where Snopes is coming from. Now, advertising revenue is Snopes' only source of income, meaning that Bardav, the company that owns and operates Snopes, has no way to pay for itself or cover its legal fees. But in an attempt to save itself, the company set up a GoFundMe page requesting that readers donate $10 to help the site. In just one day, it raised $50,000, an amount that will enable the company to operate indefinitely, which is good. And plus $500,000 in a day. That's so much fucking money. That's 50,000 people threw down $10. I mean, if we were going off that number right there, that's some dedication. That's some love right there. That's, you got an audience. All right. Like, you got an audience. And they go on to say here that our legal team is fighting hard for us, but having been cut off from all revenue, we are facing the prospect of having no financial means to continue operating the site and paying our staff, not to mention covering our legal fees in the meantime. And at least now they're good to keep fighting that good fight. And whether you like Snopes or don't like Snopes and you feel that they're biased, that is definitely something that if you like anyone here on YouTube, should be in support of, is fighting back against that kind of dumb fuckery. Now, Carl Cronenberger, which sounds like a person you might find in a David Lynch movie, who is a lawyer for Proper Media, said that David Mickelson didn't properly cancel the contract, and both companies have sued each other. So the guy didn't properly cancel the contract, so you're just fucking him over. I just find that to be funny. I find it to be funny. But then again, going back to what I said earlier, this situation, Snopes in this situation, has really kind of brought out a number of things against Snopes as a way to kind of further discredit the site. Now, ever since the election, Facebook announced that they were going to be working on trying to crack down on fake news. And one of the outlets that they chose to trust as a source was Snopes. And Snopes was then accused by many people of being inherently over-the-top biased, getting things wrong on purpose, pushing a lefty narrative. I mean, very, very, very much getting attacked from right-leaning right-leaning individuals simply because of the stuff they choose to cover. And I'm not saying that they're perfect. They've definitely made mistakes. But if you jump over here to their website and you look at whether or not they are biased, this is where, again, this causes into some confusion here, because they say, are we Republicans or Democrats, conservatives or liberals, administration supporters, or on a secret funded tool of the opposition? According to our readership, we're all of those things. And then they go through and, they go through here and they just show a bunch of shit here. But this one's interesting. This is like second one from the top, because they're oftentimes accused of being very leftist and kind of like, putting a lefty spin on everything, as many of these comments denote. They say here, you are all dumbass Republicans that want to control everything. You couldn't win a fair fight if it was clean air. Pick on who you want, but leave names out unless you actually talk to that person and that person agrees with you. Hide behind your shield as all cowards do. You all lost. Accept it. I'm pretty confident someone will make your day soon, right? So someone, again, someone here thinks that they're Republican. Then you have this one down here next to it saying, how come you only review, submit, comment on subjects that show the liberal socialist agenda as positive or good? Never seen you say anything against the left. Is that biased reporting or something? So you got those two right there. And granted, those two are towards the top, and there are a number of accusations in this particular little bit here that does kind of make one laugh when thinking about the issue. But what I want to talk about, though, is an attack right now from the independent media out there, the conservative media. You have this one here: hookers, lies, and fraud. Snopes in danger of closing doors. This is from Chelsea Schilling, and it's a whole article about how this is David Mickelson right here, and this is his new wife, Elisa Young, who is a porn star, and a former porn star, and also works on the website right now, and talking about the nasty divorce proceedings that have gone between him and his ex-wife, and then also his ex-wife suing him, or selling off her shares to another media or another company, and then them having a 50-50 split on everything right now. And this whole article goes through, I mean, I'm not gonna go through it all, but it's like, this is the other Snopes founder, his wife, and then it comes down here like to the porn star, and be sure to really showcase that she is a porn star. She went by the name Erin O'Brien when she was doing porn, which, if you are inclined, you can find those videos. And so it's like, it's a way to kind of go through and demonize them. It's a way to go through and try to discredit them while they're in this very vulnerable state. And I find that to be very fascinating. Not to say that the left probably wouldn't do it in their own right, but we don't have anyone on the left doing that right now. But I'm finding these kind of sources here. You got here too, Kim LaCapria, principal fact checker at Snopes, has blogged as Vice Vixen and offered sex toy tips. Right, so you got to love that being in there. Like, oh, one of the top fact checkers at Snopes, she blogs under a sexy name and she offers sexy tips. Like, who gives a shit? You know what I mean? Like, who gives a shit? Like, one of the YouTube channels I watch is a girl named Brittany Simon, and she reviews sex toys. And I think she's a swell person. We've gone and we've had lunch, we've hung out. Like, oh no, if she tells me an opinion, I'm gonna totally discredit it because she's reviewed dildos and shit like that. Like, who gives a fuck? Like, how does that discredit the opinion? And you can come over to here to the Daily Wire, Ben Shapiro's site, which is very right wing. And then also brings up porn star wife right in the title, and that becomes a big part of it here. So talking about, like, the wife being pro prostitution because she was an escort in Las Vegas. Like, that's one of the things you have to consider when looking at these particular websites, is that when they discuss this particular story, they're doing so from the aspect of trying to discredit it in a way that will then get the right side to step up and go, no, shut it down, and then further fight back against people that are actually trying to debunk the news. Now, I'm not saying that Snopes is 100% perfect. They have they've had some screw-ups in the past, absolutely, but they have a better track record than most in this particular respect. And I look at the spin from the right in an attempt to destroy them, and I just can't help but laugh. Because this is clearly their response on Snopes is very much having to do with Facebook, listing them as a trusted source against fake news after the election. It's more partisan bullshit. It's more stupidity. What the thing here to consider is this: if you sit there and you get your news from Facebook, if you get your news from Facebook and you don't fact check it yourself, that's on you. Like, either side of the debate you want to be on, that's on you. Snopes will cite their sources, they'll cite their information. They sometimes get things wrong, but they have comments and they will update when necessary, just like any of us will. All right, people come to me and watch me that are both like Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, whatever, because they also want different takes on different situations. But when you start seeing articles like the ones I showed you that are trying to paint it as this like sex crazed nightmare defunct website situation, you can entirely see what their motivation is, what their narrative is, and what they're attempting to do. So in the meantime, to Snopes, I simply say, good luck. You're gonna fucking need it. Well guys, that wraps up this video. If you guys like what you saw, be sure to toss it a thumbs up. If you're new, hit that subscribe. Also hit that bell so you guys can be up to date on all the videos I post every single day on this platform. My name is of course Matt Jarbo. This has been the Mundane Matt channel. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I'll talk to you later. Have yourself a great day. Peace out.